Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Stone Star, issue number 1. What? Where did this come from? I'm looking through my emails, and all of a sudden I see that, what is it, like 2-3 hours ago, I got an email that says, "Oh hey, there's a brand new comic book out, Jim Zub and Max Dunbar." I'm like, wait, what? When did? So when is this coming out? This comes out today? Yeah, this came out today. It's Comixology exclusive. Hence, I don't have the physical copy because it doesn't exist. So, yeah, I know there's a whole bunch of people who are probably turning off the review right now. Shame on you. This comic book dropped, and thank you very much. They gave some of us reviewers a free copy. Yeah, so I'm looking at the PDF. I read this thing, and it was really good. I'm going to get into what happened in this story in a minute. First, credit where credit's due. So Jim Zub is indeed the writer here, and Max Dunbar does the art. He also does the cover, so all the art, minus the colors. The colors are done by Espen Grundeljourn. Did the best I could with the name. I apologize. Letters by Marshall Dillon. I'm telling you, man, I'm glad that Comixology actually put all those people up, but I guess since some of those people actually work for them, I can understand why they did it. Usually I don't see all of the credits given in Comixology. Most, you guys know, most written or oral reviews, if they even give the credits to people, it'll just be the artist and the writer, which is a damn shame because it takes a hell of a lot more than that to write a comic book. Anyhow, this is an asteroid that they're on, and therefore it's mostly mining. So yes, this is futuristic, future tech, galaxy far, far away, whatever. And it's a very hard life for these people. It's kind of like, you know, capitalism gone 100% wrong. Like, no safeguards, no nothing, just unchecked. And no free market, no... what do you call, all monopolies, no competition, just everybody's screwed. So when you're living in this colony, basically, this giant asteroid, you've only got several choices. If you're one of the super smart, sure, you can go into engineering, you can maybe be a tech, you could do something with your brains. If not, you've only got 2 choices. One is, if you're tough enough, you can become a gladiator. The gladiatorial arena is actually something that it's mobile. It jumps from this place to that place to that place to a couple different places so that the entertainment can be sparsed out. That's pretty badass. That's very ingenious. I'm digging the hell out of that idea. And apparently this is an idea that went on for like 6 years, floating around in the Zub's brain. Yeah, I can see that happening. And I guess that since they were both working together, Dunbar and Zub were working together in the Weird World story for Marvel under the Champions title. I could see them, you know, gelling because they also worked together in the Dungeons and Dragons Baldur's Gate story. I think that was, if that wasn't 4 issues, I think that was actually 5 issues for, what was it, the IDW imprint publishing company, excuse me. So, yeah, I'm always happy to see these two together, especially since they usually have fantasy stories together. Well, this one was a little different. This is fantasy sci-fi. And holy crap, man. You could see... Oh, sorry, really quick. The other idea is that you could just become a laborer. If you're not strong enough or tough enough to be a gladiator, you could be a laborer. And that sucks. And this is such a realistic mindset. The people, all the characters, it's very... It's not just imaginative. It's based on a lot of real sociological concepts. The ideas, not even, forget concepts. Just this seems like it's so steeped in real life, which is one of the things that grounds a sci-fi story so well and makes them indelible for future reference. Yes, you've only got several career choices ahead of you, and the people who are stuck in that, if you dare complain, you don't need somebody from higher up to bark down, hey, if you don't like it, I could just fire you. No. We don't usually need stuff like that. It's usually our cronies who are in this horrible social status, but at least they're not gutter rats. At least they're not stuck out in the streets stealing for a living, right? So let's maintain our social status. And what do they say to each other? Oh, you want to complain? Maybe you'd like to go off and do such and such instead. I mean, you're not tough enough to do this, so you should just do that, because we've all got this sense of, not all of us, but enough of us have this sense of, this is my status in life. Of course, we all wish that it could be better, but it's not. But at least we have this. This is so well grounded in the real thinking that everyday people experience. I love that. Like, that had to have been my favorite part of this comic book, because I do get into the psychological aspect of comics. So really well done there. But at the same time, let's also bring in a nostalgia effect. There's a character in here, Volnus. He seems an awful lot like a one-armed Kano to me. Kano? No. Shao Tsung? No. Who the heck was that one guy with the hat in Mortal Kombat? I think he was in the second Mortal Kombat. I don't know, it's been a long time since I played video games, but like, you get the gist, right? The guy with the hat and Lao Tzu, right? Anyway, yeah, he's a one-armed, and he's a former gladiator. You could tell he's a former gladiator. And the soldiers, they don't have police. They have military instead. Now, they're called the military, but they're not military. They're not soldiers. They are militarized police. Even though they're called the military in here, whatever, I get it. Not everybody was actually in the military. Not everybody actually understands the way that works. I don't know if that was done on purpose or an accident. Doesn't matter. They acted, I feel, appropriately. They were bullies. That's exactly what they were. They were bullies. Now, you will get bullies sometimes in the actual military. Unfortunately, you may notice, and in Canada, I understand you're not going to see that as often. But anybody who grew up in the States and several other countries, you know that a lot of times the police force, this authoritarian, do what I say at the end of a gun, yeah, you will do what I say or otherwise you will be beaten. That is such great breeding grounds for bullies. Even if bullies don't necessarily always get in, it's something to aspire to. The high school bullies can still, continue their profession and actually get paid for it now. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, yeah, they were handled appropriately as far as I'm concerned. Everything in this comic book was just done so well. Extremely imaginative. Here's this kid, Kale, who, him and his partner are trying to steal for a living. They're very young. Like, they're maybe 8 to 12 years old, something along those lines. I'd be surprised if they were 16. But anyway, they're trying to steal for a living. Nothing is about the spirit of the law. Everything is about the letter of the law. So I can imagine if these guys got caught, they're told they're going to go to REM prison. So that, REM, I'm imagining that's rapid eye movement. So it's going to be kind of like Demolition Man in that regard. Again, guys, the nostalgia in here is sick. They're pulling in from so many different sources, just a little bit. So it's blinking, you miss the nostalgia. So don't blink. Don't blink. That's my advice. Don't blink. Anyway, this kid, it turns out that he's got this affinity with something called an effigy. An effigy is this, here's another pull-in. What's this from? There are a couple movies like this. One of them I'm remembering offhand was Hugh Jackman. He was in this movie where you, like battle bots or something like that, you punch and then the robot behind you actually punches, so you get the robot to go in and you punch and you box. You basically fight the other robots. It's the battle bots, all right? You rock 'em, sock 'em robots, all right? Anyway, so there's a sense of that going on in here. And this one kid seems to be so naturally inclined. He's not trained in it at all. Didn't even know he had this ability. But somehow the Volnus understood that he did have that. So this kid is so naturally gifted at it that he's able to take over another person's effigy. Oh, that's just sick. So guys, and again, I'm not going to tell you everything that happens in this comic book because I actually like you. I don't want to just take away all of this excitement from you. This is a standard comic book on Comixology. It's going to be monthly. The next one, I believe, comes out the 24th of April. There's only going to be 5 issues, so it's not an ongoing. However, if there's going to be anything like, and Jim Zub has done lots of creator-owned stuff before. Wayward, for example. He knows that, you know, you put out just a lousy 5 issues, people are going to, you know, if people don't like it, whatever. But if people do like it, like me, then you can always just say, oh, that was just volume 1. Stay tuned for volume 2. And I have a feeling that's exactly what's going to happen. If you could judge a comic book by its first, a comic arc by its first issue, this would be one of them. And I'm seeing bright things on the future. This is a fantastic comic book. This is, yeah, boom. I'm loving what I'm reading so far. Of course, you got to make sure you can stick the ending. I say that all the time. The ending is more important than the beginning. The beginning is the introduction. The middle just keeps you excited, waiting for that ending. Once that ending happens, if they don't land that ending, then it gets just wasted, and the whole comic series seems horrible. So, hey man, no judgment. I'm gonna withhold my judgment. But if I had anything to base it on, just with this first issue, looking forward to this. So yeah, definitely consider checking this out on Comixology. Boom, instant access. You already came home from the comic book store on this new comic book day. You're banging, baby. Just go. You don't have to go back. Just go online, purchase, and you're done. I believe you can also do it by Amazon. You know what? I'm going to have a link below. How about that? I'll try and have a link below. If I can make a link below. I'm just thinking this off the top of my head. So in the description, boom, you could buy it that way. Make it a little bit easier for you. But definitely consider getting this. They're also already advertising the trade paperback that's going to come out in, I think, the 28th of August. Actually, they're advertising as a collection. So I don't know if it's going to go to physical trade or not. I don't know that. But, you know, by all means, feel free to comment below if you know for a fact that it will. I imagine it will. That's usually what happens. But anyway, that's all that I know. Definitely get this comic book. That's the other thing I know. All right, guys. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.